But that interview after you won was so cool, I thought, because you were super transparent about how you felt down the stretch. Will you kind of elaborate a little bit on those feelings coming down the stretch to get your second win on tour?
Yeah. Obviously, I knew after the start I played well on the front nine that I was leading by one or two shots. And as we made the turn on the back nine, we didn't have any leaderboards the first, I think, 4 holes or even 5 holes. And I made a bogey on the 12th hole, and I knew that was going to set me back a little bit, but I didn't know how the other people were doing. But I knew I was okay. This is probably going to be a pretty close race. I can't just, I made 4 birdies, I think, the first 7 holes on the front nine. It's not like I can just par in coming in from there. I have to, you know, take charge and continue to make birdies. And it's hard when you're in a spot, you're in the lead, but you kind of have to keep going. And I don't know, I was just really nervous because I knew what it meant to me, and I worked really hard for it. So obviously there's a lot of pressure there, but knowing then again that there are guys behind you, they're going to catch up to you. It's just a matter of when. And I have to pick up some more birdies. And you can hit a lot of good shots, you can hit perfect putts, but they're just not going to go in every time. So it was like, I know I'm playing good enough to where it could happen, but I was very just anxious about it to, okay, man, I hope it's going to happen. So it's a lot of where, you're
Yeah.
trying to execute the shots that you have, but you just don't know if it's going to go your way or not. And I guess that's kind of just, the excitement and the nerves that are just kind of overwhelming you a little bit.
Well, I applaud you because you're always being just authentic to who you are. You're just Victor, and you're so open about like how you feel down the stretch. And you were saying you were shaking, you were nervous, and I mean we all have felt that at times on the golf course that play competitive golf. And I just think it's so healthy for you to share that, for young players to hear that that's okay, and that happens in competitive golf, and you got to find ways to live with it. Because the more common thing would be to say, yeah, I just focused on what I could control. And but I just find it so refreshing that you're open and transparent, and I think that's why a lot of people, really root for you, and find that you're a really authentic guy.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because obviously the people that are on top of the leaderboard trying to finish out a tournament, they're in that same position. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem to face them. But I'm sure we all kind of feel the same in that moment. Some people might handle it better or worse, but yeah, I just it was just what I felt really uncomfortable. Yeah, but that's just kind of what stood out to me. Now, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm making a quick segment here, but last week in Dubai, I also kind of had a chance to win the tournament. I ended up losing by a couple of shots, but I was never leading the tournament, and I was never, you know, quite that close. And in that situation, I felt very, very calm. Like I was hardly nervous at all. So there is something to that too. Like I don't know if it's just a setting or if it was because I was actually leading the tournament in Mexico and being kind of chased by the guys behind me. And in Dubai, I was one of those guys kind of chasing the leader. So I think that situation also matters too. I just think that's interesting. I haven't been in that situation a whole lot, so for me, it's kind of a learning experience too.